Welcome back to the channel. I'm not for sure exactly what I'm going to be calling this video. This is going to be basically, I'm just going to show you how I am going to make this gun, I guess, the ultimate custom high point for me. Just kind of give you guys some options on things that you can do to this gun to customize it and to make it yours, because let's face it, for 150 bucks, you know, you're not going to get an out of the box perfect gun. And honestly, for 500 bucks, you're not going to get an out of the box perfect gun. Any background noise, I apologize for that. I got kids and yeah. But anyway, so let's get started. First things first. Safety check, nothing in the chamber. So let's get this gun apart, and it'll be a snap of a finger for you, but it'll be a couple minutes for me. So hang on one moment. All right, see, I told you that'd be quick. So basically, detail stripped it. So the first things I'm going to work on is, clearly I got to do the mechanical aspect first before I oh, I forgot to pull the extractor out. Before I do any cosmetic things first. So I'm going to finish stripping the sight out and the extractor, because I got a little ahead of myself, I guess. But I want to point out some things here. Through my torture test, anybody that thinks that it didn't get anything in there, like there was a rock or something in there that got a hold of in between the slide. The paint's wore off, which I will be doing something about that. I'm going to be adding a buffer. And the slide, or the barrel, is pretty wore. Not too bad there. I'm actually not going to polish the feed ramp. I'll show you what I'm going to do to it though. Because here's the thing. This coating is a hard coating. Anybody that's removed this knows that it's tough and it's glossy, and they put it on there for a reason. And the reason being is, well, this is pot metal. So basically it's aluminum. So it's soft. So they add this as like a surface hardening in a way. And you can polish these feed ramps out, and trust me, I've done it. And you pull it apart later and it's dingy and it's dented and everything. So as you can see, even through the torture testing that I've put this through, there's no dents or anything in this. So actually what I'm going to just be doing is throating the barrel up here and polishing just the top part, and ramping the barrel, so making it a smoother transition into there. And the main part I'm going to be polishing is up here and into the chamber, and polishing the whole chamber inside of it. Another thing too is, if you look here on the frame, you can see where, I don't know which test did it, if it was the dirt or if it was the sand. But even here under the trigger, it's really rough, so I'm going to have to try to smooth that out. Where's the sear? Here's the sear. You can just tell how bad it's worn, where the dirt got in there and just was scrubbing away at it. Same thing here on the other side. You can see where the dirt got in there. Same thing here when I was having the trouble where I couldn't get the slide to unlock. That's because there was so much crap built up between this and the lever. But all in all, everything looks pretty good. So I didn't damage the gun too much. I'll show you some of the slide here too. Same thing, you can see where the sand got in there, or the dirt, whichever one. See there, a little bit of wear. Okay, so, but all in all, I mean, it's a cheap gun, so, and actually it's a pretty strong gun. So a little bit of wear up there. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is polish the feed ramp, and I'm going to work on my slide with just after I pull the extractor out, and I'll just kind of bring you in here bits and pieces. I'm not going to make you set through the whole thing. So Give me one moment, let me get started on the barrel, and then I will just kind of bring you in like after just to show you what it has, because I have videos on how to do all this through the channel. So if you like and you need more details, you can always go in. I got the trigger job video, I got the magazine fix video, I have the polish the feeder ramp video. So I'm not going to bore you guys with that. So hang on, let me get the barrel started and also the slide, and I'll bring you in after. Thanks. Hang on real quick. Okay, we're back, and I did what I've all I'm going to do to the slide and the barrel. So I'm just going, and the extractor. So I'm just going to kind of give you a sneak peek here. Get it to focus. I don't know. One. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. As you can see, all I did was basically crown the barrel. I'm just going to leave the feed ramp alone and just leave the what's shiny on there, because as you can see, there's no wear. And then I polished the top side there, and also just kind of went around the chamber there and just kind of crowned it in a way, just to prevent any hang-ups going in. Okay, so that's it. And then the spots that got all worn, all I did was just take some touch-up blue and just kind of rubbed it on there. And didn't really work too well, but I'm not too much worried about what the interior of the gun, or actually even the exterior of the gun, looks like. I'm going for function with this, so this is good enough. I could spend all day going at this, but as you've seen, the gun works just fine the way that it is. So anything I'm doing is just improving it. Also, the slide, I just took and sanded all the rough coating down on both sides. Okay, and then the main focus was the breech face there. Just polishing that up. Like I said, it's not real pretty, but it works. And then sorry guys, allergy season. What I did, deburr the firing pin hole, was just, you just get a drill bit and just turn it by hand. That will deburr and crown that firing pin hole. And I'm going to explain why here in a minute after I go over the extractor. Also, crowning, this edge here, just to prevent any snags or anything like that, because it's a pretty sharp edge there. So I just kind of basically just broke the edge and kind of rolled it over and went through here with the finest bit that I had on the Dremel, and tried to smooth out some of those. Eventually that'll all just with wear, just shooting the gun will smooth itself out. So I'm not too terribly worried about that. Then also on the extractor. So here's your extractor, right? Basically what I did was I broke this edge along here. Let me get something to point with. So I broke this edge along here and along here. That's not working out too good. Thing's nasty. Okay. And then when you're looking at the extractor like this, I broke this edge, this sharp edge here, so it's not squared. And the same thing along this edge and along in this edge. And here is why. If you're looking at the gun basically pointed at you, when this casing comes into contact, it hits that top corner first and pushes the extractor out of the way, and then it's going to hook. So by removing that sharp edge, is just going to ensure that this casing will get up behind the extractor. If you have a sharp edge on there, right there, when this casing is trying to go in, you could have a stoppage. Okay, and then that's the same reason why I was talking about deburring the firing pin hole, because your casing, after it feeds, it'll be hard for me to show you, but your casing actually it will slide up in position once it goes into the barrel. And if you have a sharp edge around there, you can actually shear off little pieces of brass, and the pieces of brass can cause stoppages with your firing pin. And then also it's just another sharp edge that could possibly, you know, cause a stoppage. So just by, you know, doing those things is going to just help smooth out the transition. And then before I want to go over installation of the extractor, I also get it there, come on. Dang it. Man, this thing's not cooperating with me today. But anyway, as you can see, basically what I did was I crowned the circle there where you're firing, where the actual pin drifts in. So anyway, I'm going to reinstall the extractor, and I want to go over one thing. I like to grease my extractor springs, and it's just because, you know, if, say, for whatever reason you was out there and you dropped it, you know, you're not always going to be pulling your extractor out during maintenance and stuff. So I like to fill them with grease, and then install them there. That way I don't have to worry too much about rust. So that's it for the slide. I'm going to basically I think I'm going to do the trigger grouping next. So I'm going to install this, push it off to the side, and start working on the trigger components. So hang on one moment. All right, so I'm back. I forgot to mention that actually I just completely forgot that I'm going to be adding basically making a buffer system. So basically this is just a and like I said before, excuse the background noise, I got kids, like I'm sure we all deal with. They're quiet till you're trying to do something. This is just a standard O-ring, okay, that you can get at any hardware store. You just got to find the right size, and basically I'm just going to slip this over this and slip it all the way down, because as we all know, the high point beats the shit out of the barrel right here. But okay, so for every what is it? Every reaction, there's an opposite and equal reaction. Okay, so if I'm doing this, well, the slide's not going. That's going to take up space of the slide coming back, however thick that is. So in order to get the slide to lock, this is your slide lock lever. So what I've done so far is I've removed some of the material off of that, because like I said, if you're adding material somewhere, you have to take it away from somewhere else. So I'm just going to kind of tinker around with that till I get it to slide lock. I might actually have to take this off and kind of channel around here to give this a little recessed area to live. But I'm going to try to go about it without doing that. Also, now that I got this together, I can kind of demonstrate what I was talking about with the edge on the extractor. So if you can imagine your casing coming up into the getting ready to feed, and it has to slide up under the extractor, having that edge right here broke, having that edge broke and having the firing pin channel broke is just going to ensure reliability. So let me get working. What I've come up with, all I'm going to do for the the trigger job on this is grease, and then I blued this one so you can kind of see a little bit better. Dang it. Okay, there we go. So I kind of blued it. All I did was just broke the edges around that and just put a high polish on the face, and then also I put a high polish there, which isn't going to do anything with the trigger, but it's just going to help the firing pin cock a little easier. And then I also polished this arm here, because this is the arm that your sear arm attaches to, so the smoother that is. And then also I just kind of went around here and just broke this edge, and then I'm just going to pack it with grease, and that's all I'm going to do to the trigger. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, because the more I shoot it, the better it'll get. So basically I'm going to reassemble the firearm, and where's that little piece at? The thing that gave me issues in the sand. You know, I mean, honestly, looking at it and the engineering aspect of this, they call it a sear block. Honestly, dude, it ain't doing anything. It's really not. I mean, if you look at it, and then the way that even the spring's in there, it ain't doing anything. And honestly, I think they just put that in there as a drop safe thing, because I mean, California's so stupid. I mean, you put something like that in there and you call it a sear block. Well, they don't fucking know. They're dumb as shit. So I personally think, and the same thing with this. I mean, what the hell is that doing? Honestly, man. I mean, you can't tell me that and that little bar and this is going to stop the gun from going off. Basically, I'll tell you what keeps the gun from going off. If I can find it now, is that freaking spring, the coil spring that lives under this, that stiff spring. And that's why I get upset when I see people that cut that, because honestly, that is what's preventing your sear from dropping. So I'm debating on if I'm going to put this back in there, because I'm basically making this gun for if shit ever hits the fan, and if this gun ever gets dirty, this was the weak link with the gun. And I think that was the whole problem with the trigger resetting, and then when I did the sand, it locked it up, man. So I'm debating on if I'm going to put this in, but that's to be discussed on a later date. So I'm going to reassemble this gun, and I'm going to work on trying to get it to slide lock with my buffer, and then basically I still need to get some products that I'm going to use to refinish the firearm. So yeah, that's it. So for right now, that's it, and I'm going to add in the clips. But for tonight, I'm done. I'm going to get this together, and then I'm going to come back on and kind of show you that I got it to slide lock and everything's functioning fine. And then on a later date, once I get materials to recoat the slide and recoat the frame and the grips, you know, I'll add those in. This is going to be one video continuous, but it's going to be different days for me. So yeah, so just hang on one moment. Let me get this thing together and troubleshoot it if I need to troubleshoot it and all that good stuff. Okay, so real quick tip. Basically, got her this far back together. You have to put your trigger in before you put your barrel in. Just a note. And then also, like I said, I packed everything full of grease in the sear. Also put a light coat of grease behind the sear arm. I also crowned both sides of the hole there where the sear and the sear arm connect, and also put a little bit of grease in there. But the reason why I brought the video back in is as I'm going, just kind of a couple little tips like this. Okay, this is your magazine catch spring. So it's just kind of a good thing that when you're taking this apart and putting it back together, as you can see the angle, what I did, I just bent it just to get a little more tension. So when I add this back onto here, it's just going to hold more tension with holding the magazine in place. And I put my my grip back on, you're going to notice what you're going to be able to tell that you did that. It's going to be a little tight, but it'll straighten itself out. But I've seen guys that were having issues with their magazines dropping out while they were shooting, and it's as simple as taking this grip panel off and bending that spring, and it won't fall out anymore. So just real quick tip. So far it seems like it's going to lock open with the buffer in there. So let me finish getting this back together and troubleshoot it, and hopefully I don't have to take it back apart. So hang on. All right, well, I got her back together. Actually, I didn't have to take it apart and mess with the slide lock, but I did have to wind up replacing the whole trigger grouping in this gun. If you recall, when it locked up when I was doing the sand test, and I was pulling on the trigger really hard trying to get it to clear out, and it locked up, I must have bent something. And so I wasn't for sure. I'm pretty sure it was the trigger bar, although there's no, like, I can't tell. I can't tell of any damage to it, bent. I'm assuming it's probably in here somewhere. So luckily I have backups. I first swapped out the cam arm that was originally in this gun with one that I have in my my go bag. So and it didn't work. Basically what was happening was, let it clear, I was pulling the trigger back, and it wasn't, it was just like this, nothing. And then I would bring it back up, and sometimes if I racked it again, it would actually pull, but it was like it was pulling, but it just wasn't dropping the sear. So luckily I had an older one there. I don't know what happened there, sorry. An older trigger that I pulled out of an older high point. And I actually kind of like this trigger better. It's just a smooth face to get into it, and I've heard a lot of people say that. It just seems to be a little bit better than the new one. So I just swapped the whole trigger grouping out, and we're just going to call it a day. Now the goal is to function test this, and after we function test it, then I will start worrying about coating the gun. And as you can see, we get slide lock, goes free, and if you listen, you can tell that that buffer, well, actually, I keep calling it a buffer. That rubber O-ring is on the end of that barrel because there's no more metal. No more metal binding. And like I said, all I did was just took a little bit off of the lever there so that it would actually engage slide lock, and you want to make sure you take enough off to where you can do this. Bring it back forward, okay? All right, so I will function test it. I'm not going to bore you with that because basically I'm just going to put like 2 mags through it, make sure that they lock back. Put a couple mags through it, maybe just put a couple rounds in, see if it slide locks, put 1 round in, see if it slide locks. So I'm not going to bore you too much with that, but hang on real quick, and we'll start getting on some of the coatings. Meantime, I'm going to punch this out, throw away the trigger bar, and I'm going to keep the actual trigger face. So hang on real quick, and we will start worrying about the finish on this firearm. It's going to look the same, but different. Okay, so hang on. Okay, so here we go. Show you what I did as far as the sanding and stuff. I've already got it all sanded and degreased, and I'm just going to show you basically what I did. The barrel, basically not much. Just sanded it down so the paint will stick. I'm going to basically plug the chamber and tape off the feed ramp because I'm going to be doing a flat paint on this. Frame modifications. Basically what I did, I angled this here near the ejection port, which I'll show you why here in a minute once I put the slide on. And then that's basically it besides my my undercut here for the for my magazine whenever I tear my mag out. I got a place to actually get my thumb in there and actually rip out. Other than that, that's it, and that's how I'm going to basically spray this. I'm just going to tape off the top, tape off my serial number, and I'm just going to paint it with the grips and everything on there, because underneath the grips I really don't need that texture there. Anything here that the slide's going to wear off, it's just going to wear it off. I'm not going to worry about things that I can't control. So that's that. Slide. So basically, as you can see where I've done my metal work, okay? So first things first, back here, I basically broke this edge here and then just rounded it off on both sides here. Just so, I've never gotten slide bite from this gun, but you know, who's to say you won't possibly hit it and slow it down. Also, I just angled both sides of this. So as you can imagine, slides coming back. You know, you never know. Also, I broke the edge here on the extractor. It was a sharp edge, and then as you can see where focus. Okay, well, it's not wanting to cooperate too well here. But as you can see, basically what I did was I angled that and enlarged the ejection port from the inside. Just kind of gave it that angle. And also down here, and the reason why I was talking about the where I angled the frame is, as you can see, it's just going to enlarge that ejection port on the way out. So that's just something that you do with custom guns, enlarging the ejection port. So I mean, it's not going to hurt. If anything, it'll help. So, and that's basically it. I thought about adding some front serrations or something like that, or making these serrations full, or just doing something. But then the more I thought about it, the more I thought, you know what, it's just a freaking high point. And if I put this bed liner on here on this slide, it's going to help no matter what. So all right, I'm going to do my masking off, because I got to mask off the whole inside of this. I don't want any of that rough texture getting inside the slide, because it is tough as nails. And I got to tape off my my serial number plate, and then I also got to tape off my chamber and my feed ramp here. So let me get that, and we'll get set up outside. And oh, little tip. Nice and sunny outside. My spray cans are setting outside in the heat, just kind of warming the paint up. It'll help the flow of your paint. It'll act as if it's thinner, even though it's not, just because it's warm. So just a little tip. Okay, so we're out here now. First thing I'm going to be doing is the slide. I'm more anxious to see how that's going to turn out. And then basically from that point, I'm going to do the frame. As you can see, simply just some hillbilly stuff here, just hanging them up in the yard. And we're going to get going here, and we'll take it inside. I will be blow drying the plastic with the heat gun to help dry and help cure it and harden it. But the slide and the barrel, those parts I'm actually going to bake. So it'll be a bake on finish. So they should be extremely hard. So this stuff here, you want to stay back away from it. You just kind of want to dust it. Okay, a bunch of light coats is better. So now I'm going to let this flash. Come back, put a couple more coats on it. Go ahead, and I'm going to try the slide or the grip here, just to kind of see if I'm going to like this color or not. I tell you right now, I'm not. It's got like white little specks in it. So, but I'm going to just get this on here to get my texture. Then I'll hit it with the flat black, and hopefully that'll give me the results I'm looking for. And we'll see you back at the table once I get this all done. All right, so here it is, all finished up. Got it all assembled. Got the first coat of Froglube in it because basically it was degreased. I had to degrease everything to do all the preparations. So now that I'm going to start taking care of this gun and not torturing the shit out of it like I was before, it's kind of earned its stripes, should we say. This is it. So as you seen when I was painting the frame, the texture coating stuff was a speckle job, and I'm just not into that. So what I did was I basically, after I turned the camera off, I just kind of stopped, and I went ahead and I finished with the slide. And I really liked the way the slide came out. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to dust a real thin dust coat on top of the texture that's already on the frame. And then from there, I just satin blacked the whole thing. It looks really shiny right now. Let's see. My light is on. Yeah, in the light, it's looking really, really shiny, which I'm not really digging too much, but I know that after time of using it, it's going to wear down a little bit. And if it don't, then what I will do is I will just, no, I won't go back to the drawing board, but what I'll do is I'll just go get flat black enamel paint, and just basically all I'll really do is just cover up my serial number again, and I'll probably just hang it like this and just coat it. The barrel came out really nice. It looks just like the day it did, brand new. And what I did, all I used was that Krylon paint, couple coats, and then I baked it. And this is still, I mean, I'm able to touch it, but I can still feel a little tackiness. So, you know, it's only been about 5 hours since I painted it, and I also baked it. The bottom, I just set in front of my heat gun and let it dry. I did not do anything with the trigger. I did not do anything with the extractor. I did not coat the front sight, although now that I am done, I decided to go with white. The main reason why I'm going with white is because, like I said, I'm making this gun for if things ever go south, and majority of your folks are going to be familiar with white dots. So that's it. And as you can see here, how the what I was talking about with being able to rip the mag out. So if I'm in a stage 3 malfunction and the mag is jammed because the slide is jammed, you know, you go pushing your mag button and nothing happens because the slide won't let the mag come out. At least now I have some kind of a dugout here to actually be able to get my thumb hooked and get this hook and rip this magazine out if I need to. So that's it. I like the results. I mean, I don't know if you will or not, but you know, to each their own. I'm a black kind of guy, and like I said, it's going to look the same but different, and it does. It looks the same because it's black, but it looks different because there's obviously a texture coating on it. And like I said, if it don't start dulling out, then I will definitely be flat blacking the whole thing. But nah, I hope to kind of help to maybe shed a little insight on some of the possibilities that you can do. And let me tell you guys, this bed liner, this stuff is freaking hard, and it's not even completely cured all the way yet. It is tough, tough stuff. And it didn't even, I thought it was going to really, sorry, I'm giving it to you upside down. That's what she said. It didn't even really fill it in like I really thought it was going to really just fill in all this stuff. It really didn't. It actually kind of flowed in really nice. I mean, you can still see the serrations and stuff on the gun. I think it just made it kind of look a little better as far as, especially the lower. It's not as cheap plasticky look anymore. So that's it. I'm going to let her cure and give it a couple of days before I do any live fire through it. And that's basically it. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up. Share, all that good stuff. Try to push the videos. Please leave a comment. And thanks for watching.